You know, and I know, and they know, 'cause we go all in. And I know, they know, 'cause we go all in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest edition of What You've Been Missing, the early edition. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are now listening to the All Dressed Up podcast every Sunday at 9 with your boy Have Streams. Wait a minute, which finger is it? This way, this one, this one, this one. My man Have Streams on my left, right, whatever you see, and me on the left. What up, Heifer Lump? What is good, man?
What it do, people? What it do, K Dizzle? How you feeling, bro?
Hey, we are 1 week away from Jesus's birthday, so I
Yes.
hope you got all of your Christmas shopping done. You got everybody out the way. You got some good plans. You're gonna have some good fun. And today we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So really quick, Ronnie's in the building early. What up, Ronnie? What's good, my guy? What's
What
going on?
up? What up, Rod?
How was your week, man?
Man, chill week, man. Just another one of the books, like you said, closer to Christmas. So did some more shopping, watch the bank account, do more matriculating. You know what I mean? So we just gotta put back what we took out to make everybody to bring everybody some Christmas cheer. But hopefully each and everybody out there is walking in the door and checking us out tonight at this special time of 7 o'clock. And if you're wondering why, you know, I don't know why we even bumped it up to 7 o'clock, to be honest with you. But I
You
got a
know
little
what?
excited to watch the Commanders play the Giants tonight in my
Yeah,
playoff game, if you haven't heard. But Kay, what you got going on, bro?
nothing, man. I had a good afternoon. I just finished watching some highlights of a Jacksonville Jaguars versus Cowboys game, which will get which will get
That's hilarious.
man. It was actually it was must see TV. I will say that. I will
Mm.
say that must see TV, and it's just gonna make it a lot harder when next week comes around on Christmas Eve. But look, we got a lot to roll into, man. You got a rant for the night before we get rolling?
Let's see, man. A few things have been floating around on my mind as of late, but I was thinking about something that I was learning about researching and taking into the new year.
Hmm.
Because I know we were talking about our wrap up show and everybody's gonna be making those New Year resolutions. But we talked about like a week or two ago how I've realized that a lot of people that are successful said they start their day around 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning.
D, what's up, baby? Yeah, for sure.
So that was the one thing. So my next thing to add on top of that was let's normalize your ability to say no.
Oof.
And if you're just coming in at this 7 o'clock special presentation of the All Dressed Up podcast, text 301-857-1757 to join the conversation because we talking about some fun stuff tonight. But yeah, uh, if you're that type of person that, find it hard to tell a person no, no
Mhm.
matter what it is, if you're just that friend who who's always getting asked to do something for somebody else, or if you're that relative or that good son or daughter or that phenomenal mom or dad or that coworker that just always gives that extra at work and sometimes you just don't pour back into yourself. It's okay. It's okay to normalize the ability, ladies and gentlemen, to just tell that person no. I don't want to. In 2023, it's okay, K Dizzle, for you to say, no, I don't want to. Because if you learn how to say those words, you'll be surprised how much that can preserve your mental health. And that's the Hef Streams message. Boy, I'm telling you, I'm sounding good. It's getting better and better. I might have to write a book soon. But let's normalize saying no, K Dizzle. What you think about that?
No, you're 100% correct in that. Normalize saying no even during the holiday season too. Don't
Wow.
stress yourself out going to everybody's house trying to please everyone. Sometimes you need to take a break. You either make one stop or make two, but don't stress yourself out trying to please other people. Normalize protecting your peace and not forcing yourself to do things you really want to do.
Well,
All right.
I used to always want to be, I would say like a people pleaser, and I never wanted to be that guy to tell my friend or like my relative or my boss no. And I found out that I would think that if I did choose no at that point,
Mm-hmm.
it might affect my relationship or how that person felt about my loyalty or how they could depend on me. And if you can't say no a few times, maybe 5 or 6 times, maybe you just don't need to, have that relationship or that situation in your life. You know what I'm saying? So just figure it out. I think it'll go a long way. And that's my take for the day, bro.
I love it. I love it. Maximize your grind within the time that's allotted to you, then move on to something else. We always get into the habit of feeling like we have to put in the extra work, the extra hours. Yes, do it for yourself more than anything else, not for the person that's paying you. You can maximize and do everything you need to do within that time frame, but don't give them any more than that. Always make sure you invest more time in yourself after hours doing what you need to do and where you need to go. Now, that's different. If you It's different if you work an hourly and you're trying to make that extra overtime. You're doing that for you, right?
Right.
Don't do over and above for you there. Do over and above for you at home or something else or doing something else. Even just rest. Okay. So keep that in mind, man. I don't know if anything that COVID, the pandemic, all that has taught anyone is that your time is more valuable than anything else, as well as your mental health is more valuable than anything else. So take the time out for you, do what's right for you and what makes sense for you as you live on this earth, and then most of all, have fun and protect your peace. So look, there's so many things that happened over the past week. I don't know, where do you want to start? Because I got one I'll probably throw in the middle of what we're talking about.
All right. Well, look, then I'll
On
keep it
sports real
going.
quick because
I'll hold off on sports real quick. I'll take a stroll on down Netflix because I've been avoiding Netflix lately, and this kind of is a segue off of the learn how to say no thing, right?
hmm
There's a certain population of people out here that just surprise me each and every day. Like I find out that there are new types of people in the world each and every day.
hmm
Like the things that you just wouldn't expect people to do,
yeah.
some people will do it, you know. And I was watching a documentary. Netflix had this little ranking system, like the top 10 or whatever, and it's
hmm
called "Don't Pick Up the Phone." The documentary that I watched is called "Don't Pick Up the Phone," and I can't believe the shit that transpired on this documentary. I'm dead serious, bro. Like it's
Only
so.
3 episodes right now.
All you need is 3 episodes,
Oh
Cages.
my
You
god.
say it's only three.
Uh-huh.
Police cars everywhere and
I haven't
people
looked
coming and
into
going.
that too. So what are we talking about with this?
I walk
So
in a
the
restaurant
audacity
and McDonald's is still doing business.
of the person that's
We went
doing
through the
this
kitchen area and back a
this crime, you
hallway.
can kind of hear the guy talking, okay?
It was just crazy.
Oh, you can? Oh, my
Yeah.
bad. Go ahead.
So yeah, so basically, I'm still one episode away from being finished. I couldn't believe it. So basically, what's happening is you got a person that's prank calling McDonald's and Taco Bell's and fast food restaurants around the
hmm
country. This supposedly happened like around '02, '03, '04.
hmm
Guy is calling a restaurant. The documentary starts off where he calls a McDonald's, talks to the assistant manager. She's a female, and he says, I've got word. Well, he says I'm such and such officer from the station, which is right around the street. He sounds very credible, right down the street. He says, my force is on its way over there, or whatever they say. I'm not a Fed, and he was like, but I've got word, and I've got a McDonald's corporate officer on the phone as well, that you have a thin built brunette employee that stole a wallet from a customer. And we need you to ask her to come in the back and we need you to, investigate. So do you have anybody on staff? And the lady says, sure. So she gets the lady and she has a brunette on staff and the young girl's like 18 named Louise and she pulls her in the back and the guy on the phone pretty much coerces this investigation over the phone the entire time. and he's telling the McDonald's manager that, I can't get my guys there fast enough, so you're gonna have to perform the strip search. And the young girl is interviewing in the documentary, and she's like, "Well, I'm just a military child. I always follow the rules. So I'm just listening to what they're asking me to do. And at first, I'm just doing it. She's emptying her pockets, she's taking her clothes off, and you can see the camera of the back of the McDonald's, right? So you can see this young girl looking very scared, getting pretty much down to no clothes in the back of McDonald's, proving that she didn't steal a wallet because this dude's on the phone telling the manager to do it. So at this point, I don't believe the documentary. You know what I'm saying? Because there cannot be a population of people that will allow this to happen. But
Right.
apparently, bro, there has to be because this is in existence. So as it goes even further, and it's not even funny, but he gets the manager to say, again, the cops are coming. Do you have a husband or a boyfriend? And the manager says, yeah, yeah, I got a fiance. And they said, get him to come in. He comes in the room. The documentary gets a little dark at that point because some more acts were asked for the girl to perform. And it really, like I said, it wasn't as funny from here on out. But the whole point of the documentary is this guy got away with this manipulation off of prank calling restaurants for years. And he did
Right.
it on paper at least 70 times.
Wow.
So not counting the times that didn't actually transpire, the times that he probably got hung up on, he actually had made it to 73 cases of this prank call to where he had victims who were coerced to have to do certain things sexually, certain things against their humanity. And it's a shocking documentary, man. And
Mm.
I'm not even one to go out and promote, different things like it, but I just didn't think, like I said, the ability to say no. Like at what point could that person have said, no,
Mm.
this is not right. No, I don't want to. And it's all good to be raised in the church and to be a military child and to be raised with respect, but you also have to have, and I guess Kate does what we're talking about is again the display that there's a lack of common sense.
Mm.
Like I know you do a great job as a parent, Kate Dizzle, and I'm looking to follow in your footsteps, man. But like I gotta teach my kids, like, you can't just listen to just anybody. I don't care if they got a badge or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the situation is. So if you got some time, not to straighten this out too long, but check it out. You'll definitely have that face when you're watching it like, what the hell am I watching? And what the hell do people do in this world?
Well, Netflix has been bringing some crazy stuff online, some true story stuff. So you're just very careful on some of that stuff that I watch and all that
Mm.
that sound crazy in itself. And yeah, that stuff has happened for years.
Can
Back
you imagine that, bro?
Yeah, I can imagine that. I can definitely imagine that. I can definitely imagine people falling for that on a consistent
And
basis.
the detective who takes on the guy and like runs on with the story and like really tries to find him. The young lady who I'm talking about at the beginning of the documentary ended up being his neighbor, who was a good friend of his daughter.
Hmm.
It was his daughter, so he took it very personal. And I'm at the point in the doc where it's like, I'm going to put this guy behind bars. So I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna finish it up, man. Let you know. What we'll probably do soon, like you said before, is start talking about a review series coming up over the next couple of weeks. So before we go into the next category, what you thinking, K Dizzle? What you got?
All right, so this just hit the waves, right? This just hit the waves, and I want to talk about it. Okay, let me pull this up. For those of you that don't know, let me pull this up. This has just been hitting over the past few hours. This man has been everywhere in all conversations about him being arrested. Not that advertisement, but him right there. If you're not familiar with him, this is a mugshot
Somebody started mine.
of Amari Stoudemire. Okay, Amari Stoudemire, and the reason why he's there because
Mm.
allegedly punching his daughter, right? And basically saying that facing misdemeanor battery charge. She's booked Sunday, court in Miami-Dade, of course, it's in Florida. Um, photo she received daughter shows crying blood running down her face. Apparently, he punched her in the face because she was being disrespectful, and so he thought the daughter was giving attitude to her grandmother, and that she allegedly slapping her, uh, continued slapping her after punching her.
Mm.
So Stoudemire told cops his daughter received a whooping from him for being disrespectful and a liar, per the Herald. And I think that's it. Is that a picture of his daughter? Yeah, that's his ex-wife and his daughter right there. So, um, so yeah. So this has brought up a very serious conversation about streets need a streets need a body. So this is brought up
What's good, Erica?
um, very good conversation about capital punishment, right? Capital punishment within within the household. You talking about parenting, capital punishment. Okay. Are we? Here's the question, and I'm going to preface it like this: Are we still? Hey, what's up, Eric? Are we still beating our kids in these streets? Are you still laying hands on your kids? Are you using capital punishment and raising your kids still? Um, and that's the question I have right now, because um, this has started the online war right now. There's people saying yes, there's people saying no.
Well, let me ask you a question. How old is his daughter?
I don't know how old it's still. I mean, I have to look it up.
All right, so not to put you on the spot, but
No, no, good question.
I grew up.
Apparently, she's in it. She's a teenage. She's teenager age. Let's see.
We grow up on whoopings. We talked about that before in an earlier podcast as
Mhm.
far as discipline and such. But anytime you got to sit there and have police get involved and you get arrested
No, no.
and you got to really tell your whole story, 9 times out of 10 it was probably close to extreme. Because you can easily sit there with your chin up high and say, I disciplined my child, I spanked my child. But to hear, he punched his daughter, that don't sound good, you know.
Punched her in the jaw. So they didn't say which one it was. He was 17 and he's got two, 17 and 14 teenage daughters.
And not that it would make it any lighter if it was a 14 or 17, but
Hmm.
I was just trying to think of the mindset of the child and where they were, at their development stages for it to have to get to him punching her. I don't think, just like Erica said, she hit her right on the head. There's a difference between spanking and abuse,
Hmm.
and punching her is unacceptable. And it's the type of abuse to where it's traumatizing. Like,
Right.
you know, she's gonna close her eyes and see allegedly her dad balling up his fists and bringing it towards her in a punching, form. So I don't know. I'm not really with it. You got to probably look at yourself in the mirror and check out your parenting, because I would hope that as a dad, my words would be able to have a lot more impact than me having to punch my child.
Yeah. What up, Ralph? What up? What up?
What's good, Ralph?
So there goes. There is. I think there are age limits that you need to set on when you're talking about, um, you know, disciplinary actions with your kids, right?
And
Because
disrespect. I mean, punching usually is in self defense or in a street fight.
and you're not going to, who is out there punching their kids in the face.
Yeah.
I think that's just way too far. Now,
And spanking a 16-year-old is kind of wild, because you got to look at the mentality, K Dizzle. Like, I don't think you're really teaching lessons from spanking at 16, you know?
so if now my child's a full grown adult, that's a whole nother conversation. You gonna step out there in the paint. You an adult. You got your own stats, own place, and paying your own bills. Yeah, prime time is going on tonight. So if you out there
Prime time.
and you come back home and you talking that stuff, yeah, you gonna catch these hands. You
Hey, K Dizzle. You say you going to catch these hands.
catch these hands. I'm telling no. You not after you leave my house, right, and do your own thing, and you gonna come back to my house and be disrespectful? No. You're an adult now. You go live your life and do your thing. You're not gonna come home and That's what I got going on here. Or come
Maybe
in my abode, right, and talk trash. This, on the other hand, this is a young adolescent child, growing adult. You do not put your hands on them, especially in the face. Come on,
nah.
guy.
First
And
off,
two
I
and
can't.
hold on. Listen, let me say this before you go, because here's this. Here's the biggest thing. Okay, one, okay, one, they are a child, but two, more importantly, two, the relationship between father and daughter. Okay, and how the daughter is now going to perceive the father or a man with the laying of hands, or that interaction is very damaging. Yeah, I'm squaring up 100%. If you're an adult and you're my child, and you step out of line and you come in and buck everything, yeah, we squaring up. It's a wrap. Don't do it. I'm not that guy. But look, no, don't lay your hands like that.
I'm
We
the
would
type of
never.
person, man, that I'm thinking like, damn, what did I do as a parent to have to get to the point to where I gotta punch my child and my daughter at that? Like, I can see, like, your son wanting to test his strength. He's like 16. Everybody had that time.
Hmm.
But your daughter, your baby girl, what point do you gotta get to where you're squaring up, throwing the hands with her? Like, we gotta get to a point to where we can have a conversation of that. Oh, that's just so far gone. That's too far gone, bro. At that point, like, that's uncomfortable to hear. Like, yeah, I got locked up. What you in here for, bro? I had to knock my daughter the fuck out, punch that bitch in her face.
No, no, because they're gonna hurt you when you go in and you say that. You go in and say that, they're gonna hurt you for that.
Like, it just don't sound right.
And nothing about it sounds right. Nothing about it sounds right at all. So no.
But yeah, Ralph, we here because it's prime time tonight. So we moved our prime time, which usually we go hard in the paint, like K Dizzle says, and
Hmm.
we go live 9 o'clock every Sunday night, no matter what. But we're gonna get it in tonight at 7, and we're gonna keep it going, man. So what else you thinking, bro?
I mean, look, no, let's go to look. Amar, we can all agree Amari Stoudemire isn't wrong, 110%.
You shot me with that one, man, because I was an Amari Stoudemire guy.
Yeah, yeah, that just hit their way. It's only been a few hours on that, so I've got your layout here, man. The major question, right? The major question we all want to know, and I think it's starting to leak out. It's starting to leak out slowly but surely. And let me put it up. Let me put up. Let me take it. Right. Our good friend, I don't know if you're a good friend. Our good friend, Gunna, has been released from prison.
I'm pushing P.
Our Gunna has been released from prison early, served his time. So,
Gunna.
apparently, who was up for like 5 to 10, has served his time super early, and then comes out and proceeds to say, "I have not snitched on anyone." What's
I gotta say, Kate Dizzle, I don't mean to take anybody's attention away from what you just said. But I just saw one of the wildest finishes in the game between the Raiders and the Patriots.
Did the Patriots
As
win?
you speak.
Did they
I
win?
don't know what just happened, bro, but it was crazy, man. We talk sports, but we live each and every Sunday.
Was it
They
worth?
out there,
Was
they
it
out
worth
there,
the Vikings?
bruh. It was a lateral. It looks like they were out there trying to score before overtime. They lateral the ball around, and the Raiders intercept the lateral and score. So the Raiders win 30-24. Another parlay down in the dumps. But we talking about capping in your rap, man. And I just been trying to talk to all you young hip hop fans and rappers and all you guys that put so much into what you hear on these tracks now. There's a fine line between that cap and that real rap. And don't be surprised. All I'm saying, you talk about the optics look crazy, Eric.
What's
The
up, man?
optics look crazy. But it doesn't really matter if he told or not because he's out and he was in court and he was talking about YSL being a gang. And at the end of the day, the RICO charges are going away. Time has been served. Time has been suspended. And you know what? It's easy for me to sit here and say anything about his decision. I'm not a street guy. I'm not out here doing no, doing the dirt. running around doing this and that, to where I gotta be in a position to where I gotta make that decision.
Hmm.
But man, who's gonna be up in the studio with your boy Gunna now? And are the P's still gonna be pushing and hitting the same like they were before the Yes Ma'am? The Yes Ma'am game that he was playing in court the other day. Is YSL a gang? Yes, ma'am. Were you in the car with such and such? And was this and this found in the car? And wasn't any of this, wasn't all of this not yours? Yes, ma'am. I mean,
Oh, you saw it, right?
it's interesting to me because I think it's great. I
Uh-huh.
think I think I think people need to see this
Hmm.
because it just shows you what's been going on. Social media again is uncovering every single thing that we grew up believing to be true. That rappers told the truth, social media says, no, they don't. Or if they do tell the truth, they might not stick with it and they might start talking. So,
I want to say, it's hard because I want to say it'd be unfair to say. I think a lot more because there are a lot more new rappers. I think a lot of them is speculative. I don't believe half their raps. Right? There's some that you got that old school hardcore. Okay, this guy right here. All right, this guy right here. Like I'll give a prime example. Um, even before his documentary came out, Lil Baby, I was like, okay, this is street dude. I can
or
tell.
like, or like, or like
Street.
Gucci Man, Gucci
Yeah,
Man, is
Gucci.
street
Okay,
dude.
it's street dude right here, right? You can tell certain folk, come from that side of the tracks. Other ones, yeah, no. I'm gonna say 75% of these kids out here, they might have been with their weed man or been with somebody who knew somebody, but I think the biggest thing was, when your freedom is taken away. If you ever spend any time in any type of cell or any type of penitentiary or even close to it, you start really reconsidering life and your choices
Mm.
at that point, and your choices because people do
Especially
real time
when, especially when you're going back to that Maybach,
especially
to that Phantom.
especially when you've seen the highs of life, when you've seen a different level of success than other people. It definitely changes your perspective how you can lose it all. So look,
I thought it was so funny, man, to see everybody talking to 6ix9ine because 6ix9ine ran around like, see, I told you, Gunna was gonna snitch. There's a new snitch out. Basically, take the label off my back, and it's just funny, man, because listen, my point of bringing this up is not to get on the man for doing what he did,
yeah.
but it's just to take it with a grain of salt, man. It's just like watching a movie. Like, don't live your life off these lyrics. Don't be out here making bad decisions and be out here pushing P when your rappers are out here pushing please. That's all I'm saying. Be smart, live your life because you got to go to work.
Oh man,
You
you
got
know
to go to work.
you got to go to work. You got to live. And look, he didn't want to be in jail. That's all I know. So he got out early. And now even your boy, Young Thug, some of his stuff was dropped. So who knows what's
Man,
going on with him?
it's
So
interesting, man. I'll tell you what, it might get to the point, okay, to snitch for these 2,000
yeah,
babies.
yeah,
It's a different generation, man.
different generation.
Every day we find out it's a little different. But again, I'm not gonna be old hef sitting on here talking about the youngins. Just get it together, guys. Get it together. It's gonna be okay. But what's up, baby? Shanae. And but yeah, man, I was looking at that. It's been a lot of court in entertainment and hip hop before we talk about what's been going on in football.
Let me
You
put it up
know,
right there. Hold on.
your girl, your girl Meg the Stallion has been trying to end Tory Lanez' life for the past 2 years. And the more and more they go to court over the past week, it's just getting a little bit fuzzier and fuzzier. Apparently that's another situation that you start to believe a story that you tell yourself. And it is very possible. I've heard that you can make up a story and tend to believe it.
I've
And I
heard it.
wasn't there.
No, none of us were there. But what we have heard in these streets is that they were offered money to change their testimony,
Mm,
right? Especially the girlfriend, Meg's girlfriend Kelsey, was
yes.
offered $1 million to change the testimony. and all of a sudden, we don't remember anything that happened. We don't remember anything we said within the testimony. We don't remember what transpired. It's all fuzzy now.
Rock Nation stepped in and said, "Y'all got to cut this dumb shit out. We got to get back to making money, man."
Yo, yo. What did you say? What did you say? Is Meg the Stallion the new Juicy Smollette?
Oh man, we ate that story up back when we first started out with Jussie Smollette.
Jesse
Jussie Smollette.
Smollette.
Like
Yeah,
it's something funny
Juicy.
about something funny about pump faking and getting exposed on the light. I mean, I'm talking about the big screen. Like she's sitting in there. The best friend gave a whole testimony to
A whole
the
testimony.
prosecution. They come in, open the case up with dance, bitch. They're quoting the girl's testimony of saying allegedly what Tory Lane said to
Yeah.
Meg Thee Stallion, and then all of a sudden, after they do their theatrics, they bring her up there, and she says, "Yeah, all that was a lie. All that was a lie. I don't think this is going to be able to be really anything." So we'll see how it goes, man. I think it's going to be another situation that's much ado about nothing. I guess being in people's everyday conversation is where it is. It doesn't matter if you're in court, if you're snitching, if you're getting out, if you're going in, but they're just staying popular, man. People still talking about that same night where they got fried up at Kylie Jenner's house, and
hmm
who knows, man. It definitely got a little risky out there.
Look, Meg the Stallion's been talking about how embarrassed she is, to be talking in public about her sex life. Um, Look, it is what it is. You're in the limelight. If you're seen with anybody, they're going to be considering and talking about your sex life. This stuff is going to happen. I get it. So it's just something that just comes with the territory. It may be embarrassing for you, and it's just what it is. It's the same. It's like a bigger platform. If anybody on here in the streets have bodies and somebody knew all your bodies and they just put your bodies on Twitter or they put your bodies on Facebook or Instagram, wherever you at, it's just different for you because it's reported in the news.
Or you gotta be like Nicki Minaj, and you gotta, you can't give it up to all the rappers, man. That's
I
that's
didn't know.
why
I
that's
didn't
why
know you said that. I didn't know you said that.
that's why she's had a long successful rap career now. They said Gucci was mad because he couldn't get with Nicki, but we'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how it goes. I'm ready to roll into the NFL before we take it to what we want to talk about tonight. What you want to do, man?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So before we get into the deep dive, they just line.
Straight line in there, man.
So I wanted to roll out a question later. If you're still with us in the chat, if you're coming in, I got a funny dating scenario I wanted to ask y'all about.
He is.
I got a funny dating scenario I want to ask y'all about. And I think it's gonna be divisive. I like it too, because I think a lot of people are gonna go different ways with the question. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna run through the NFL real quick. A lot of crazy games today. I'm excited about the Commanders and Giants playoff game. Obviously, whoever wins this game tonight is going to be in a very good position to make the playoff. The team that loses isn't eliminated, but it's going to definitely have an uphill battle. But as far as today, man, weird games, some very weird games. Was there a game that stood out to you besides that awful Chicago Bears Eagles game that I watched today?
Yeah, that was an awful game.
The
Um,
Cowboys destroyed my parlay. I've been low key
you shouldn't have picked him. You should
putting
never
the
pick him.
Cowboys on my parlays,
You
man. I
should never
gotta
pick.
I gotta stay off FanDuel. I gotta
Yeah,
put
you
like
should.
some
Yeah,
type of parental code on my shit.
you shouldn't. You should never pick them. You should have looked at how good Jacksonville was playing this year.
Four
And
touchdowns from your boy Trevor Lawrence, man. 40-34.
he was throwing daggers out there. No, there was nothing really crazy that stood out other than the Raiders winning. I knew I was talking to Dre from
The
Enough Said
Vikings
podcast
game,
the other night.
obviously.
I was talking to Dre from Enough Said podcast the other night, and I told him the Lions were going to win out and make the playoffs. And sure enough, they beat the Jets today. So I mean that stood out from a confidence standpoint. what
So
really
who are
gets
they gonna take out? Who's gonna be bumped for the Lions to get in?
the Giants. So what really upset me was the Colts, you know, just just disintegrating in that game because the Minnesota Vikings are not that good. They're not as good as people think they are. They are. I think they are a terrible team, and the mere fact that most of their wins are comeback victories are exactly what it means to be. I won't say lucky. There's skill to it, but you're playing teams that aren't able to finish games,
We
and
could
so
definitely. That's a topic we could sit down and have a drink over
we'll
and
sit down
be
and have a drink
and
on.
be
But
total agreements and be in total agreements, K Dizzle. We both hate Minnesota,
yeah,
not the state. But the Vikings are just so unbelievable to me, man. And when I saw them pull off the biggest comeback in history, I was
yeah,
the biggest hater. I was like,
I
man,
was
this
too.
is fucking Bama ass Kirk Cousins, man. Finds a way to be the king of mediocrity again.
I was too.
Like, how you gonna celebrate coming back and beating the Colts, man?
Yeah, I was very upset on that. So
And I want to talk about the sorry ass Ravens too. For anybody that's watching, man, I really appreciate our new viewers that are coming in. A lot of y'all Baltimoreans are stepping in the building. I still don't fuck with y'all Ravens. And 13-3, losing to Cleveland today or yesterday, that game was the worst, bro. The worst.
there was no um
Phew.
there's no QB, no
The
QB there.
worst game, bro.
Um, our boy Deshaun Watson is looking terrible. You
The
know, he's
worst.
2 years away from football. Hopefully he gets it together. But Baltimore's in trouble. Hey mama,
What
hey
up,
mama.
my dudes? Before we slide on true, man. What you think's gonna happen tonight, man?
Tonight,
Giants Commanders. Let's go.
I have Commanders winning. I think the
Okay.
Commanders gonna win. I think it's gonna be close, but I think they're gonna win.
I just wanted to see what you was gonna say because you know where y'all got y'all L from.
Uh,
Y'all know where y'all got y'all L
let's,
from.
let's keep reminding that. This if we see y'all in the playoffs, then it'll be a whole nother conversation. But you got a long way to go, so long way to go.
y'all
You know what?
thought
You
y'all
know
thought I wasn't gonna have nothing to talk
No, no,
about
no.
come
You know what?
January.
No, you know what? That may work out. That may work out for us in our favor because we'll see the lowest seed team, right? We'll see the
It ain't,
lowest seed team that survives the next round. So
ain't gonna be us.
yeah, yeah, we'll be up.
Nah, we'll
Who would
be
you
all
play?
right. We'll probably play San Fran.
You probably play San Fran. Is San Fran 4? No, you'll probably be play you probably play Tampa.
Nah, Tampa. I don't think we get that draw.
No, you probably play Tampa. No, we'll play Detroit. It wouldn't be you. You play Detroit.
Yeah. But I tell you what, I'm gonna love this game tonight. I think it's gonna be interesting. Win or lose, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be an old fashioned NFC East battle. They are in Landover. And
Yeah.
it's gonna be at home. It's chilly out there. I think the crowd is gonna be nice and balanced. There's gonna be a lot of Giants fans in the building. They travel well, but it
It's gonna be
might
lit tonight.
be it might be a game. So my prediction, man, is gonna be 24-22, the Washington Commanders.
Mm.
Daniel Jones runs out the pocket, gets smacked up, fumbles the ball, defense runs it in for a score. That's going to be the deciding factor in the game. That's my bold prediction, man.
Now, if Barkley has a good first half, it might be trouble for y'all.
Okay.
That's it. If you don't have a good first half, then y'all might be okay. But look, this is a very I keep reading this question over here. This is a very interesting question. So go ahead and give the premise out on what we're gonna be talking about really quick.
So, shout out to my man CJ. My man CJ, my baby's goddaddy. Shout out to him, man. He was talking to me about situations, situations that you find yourself in. We always have those times where we go out. We go out with our significant other. It could have been somebody we're just starting to date, somebody we're just learning,
Hmm.
or it can be somebody that you've been with for a long time. But I think it's always fun to have a few dates at the casino. I think that's a good place where a lot of character can be determined.
A lot of character can be determined.
on the open and low key, I think you can kind of look at people's decision making and make some type of judgment about them in ways with how they carry themselves at the casino. Follow me now. There's some casino etiquette and date etiquette. You know me, Shanae. I gotta paint the picture. So I'm gonna just start it off by saying this is a first second date. That's a fun date, Erica. So look, Erica, you out, met a young man, very handsome, checking all the boxes. Your first date is, hey, let's go to live casino. Let's do it. I like slots. I like slots too. Okay, great. Y'all sit down at the slots. Go ahead, babe. Take a spin. He throws you $100 bill. Right? You didn't ask him for it. You didn't say I need $100 to play the slots, but he said, "Go ahead, babe, do your thing on me. Hit your 100, do your thing." And you get to going, and now all of a sudden you're hearing do 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 or whatever that sound is. So you just running it up.
Right.
You running it up. You're having a phenomenal time on that date. I mean, this guy, he's laughing. You're laughing. You're winning about $600-700. Now it's time to go ahead and go get something to eat. And he's got that look at you. He's looking at you. He's pretending like he ain't looking at you, but he's looking at you. He's like, "Good job. High five. You did your thing on that slot machine."
Yeah.
Are you going to break my man off with anything? And I'm talking about money.
Mm.
Where do you find it in your heart, Erica, on that fun date where that man just threw you $100 and said, "Go ahead and see how the slots treat you"? When you turn that hundo into 800, what's your gesture? What do you do to return the offer? What's the right thing to do? I give him back his hundo. So that's the first answer, right, K Dizzle? I think it's a funny question because you all right, let's break it down. Now we're talking about a person that you're just getting to know. You haven't been in a relationship with them. You just dating them. They slide you the money. Now it's up to that person. Because my man CJ made it very interesting. He said, "Look, if I've been in that position before, I say, look, do your thing,
Mhm.
but we're gonna break it down with whatever we win." He has his disclaimer. See, some people go harder than other
Rip.
people. You know what I'm saying?
Go
Some
ahead.
people go harder. K Deals are like, I might be the person that might not say nothing because I might want to see if she's gonna give me back my $100 or see how she carries it because she might go ahead and pay for dinner, right? She might give me back my 100, like Erica said. I didn't have to give her the 100. There's different things to it, but it's interesting to see how that person carries it because how people see money, especially early, you can definitely peek into some funny shit about them. So just imagine, you know, you don't have that disclaimer, and she doesn't ask you for the 100, but you say, "Huh, here you go. Go ahead and play some blackjack." Right? That's not what I said earlier. I say what I said earlier. So isn't that something when you got people bringing out the pre-talk or the pre-show convo? So my biggest thing is like, if you don't give the disclaimer, you can't
Mm.
expect anything and judge anybody off of it. I do that. So I'm probably an asshole because I'm not gonna give the disclaimer, but I'm gonna kind of give that side eye and say, let me see how she carries it.
Yeah.
Because if she turns that 100 into 1,500, I would really feel my mouth would start getting dry at the thought of just having to speak on, can I get some shoes out of this or something? Can I get some cheesecake out of this or something? Like Erica, I should get more than 100 back.
Oh.
See, why you gotta go there
Oh, oh, oh,
every
oh,
time you
oh.
give someone something?
Hey, look.
No, I'm talking about I financed the ability for you to now turn your 100 into $1,000.
Uh-huh.
Why can't you give me half?
All right. So the question is, ooh, let me say this right now, okay? Date wise, casino is a trap. It's a trap.
It's
It's a trap.
phenomenal.
It's a
It's a
trap.
trap when you've been in a relationship for 3 years.
It's a trap. So look, why should you get more than $100 back? That's look. There's Ooh, you know, I'll read you. This is rough. This is a rough book, right? So here's what you got. Now, if you go in, if you're giving $100 or you giving money just off of courtesy or principle, that's one.
Oh
Just being
man.
you, that's one thing. If they're asking for money to play with, that's a whole nother thing.
But it's
Right?
still the picture, K Dizzle, and I'm gonna let you go.
No,
It's the sight of seeing her put all that money in her purse. I want to see that specific moment, okay, where she's getting her winnings and she's putting it in her purse. Is she looking over her shoulder while she's putting it in her purse? Is she looking at the boy like,
ew.
because that's the moment that I want to see, because I'm gonna laugh because I'm gonna say, oh, she put the whole 15 away.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you what she's doing right now. She is sliding to the restroom, hitting the cash out the window.
Nah.
You be
What does
cash
she do
out
so
without
what does
even
she do?
knowing.
So what does she do when y'all get to the Joe? I'm gonna paint the picture.
No,
Shanae
no, no.
just
Wait till you
Shanae's
wait till
trolling.
you before you paint the picture. Now, Sinead brings a very important thing. If you go in and you put the asterisks on that $100 you giving money with strings attached.
Of
Now,
course you are.
now, what does that look like? Is if it's a date, right? If it's a date and you giving money up front with strings attached.
Erica said, Erica said, I'm gonna tell him dance, bitch. But that's the judgment. It goes both ways. That's the beauty of it. Because it's one of those, this is who's paying the bill times 100.
Okay,
In a
okay,
sense, this is that quiet, the bill comes, I'm gonna look at you, you look at me. Are we doing 50-50? We going Dutch, what we doing? Times 100.
yeah,
Because I don't have other character knowledge about you.
mm,
That's why I say it's funny in the beginning, because you might be ignorant and take that one instance and make a whole judgment about that girl or that guy because you don't necessarily know them.
mm-hmm,
But I just think it's funny just to have that walk to the little ticket jump, the ATM,
mm-hmm,
where you put your ticket in that pays you back what you won off the slot
right,
machine, because y'all are gonna have that walk. And the walk is always, yeah, you know what I'm saying? What you about to do? We just won this, blah, blah, blah. When she puts that ticket in and it says doo-dum, and it pays her back her money, when she turns, and if it's already away before she completes her turn,
right.
hilarious.
No, but here's the other funny part, right? Here's the other funny part, because Erica's making very valid points, saying that we don't know each other yet. It's either first or the second
Right.
date. Yet we both enjoy the casino, right? Let's say you do give that $100, right? And they have a decent night. They make some money, but you hit big that night. You hit big personally. You come out with the 1,500. You gave their 100, and they might be down three, and you both walk into the ticket table. What do we do? What are we doing at that point? Where are we going in that scenario at that point?
Bruh,
It's silence on that end,
I'm
right? What are we
telling
doing
you.
at that point?
I still think it would be hilarious to see the move that you make. Is there a number? I
Is
mean,
there a number? It's 500. Just say $500. Let's say $500. You gave 100, and you look. Now that we analyze, casino need to be a first date. See, the casino's a trap.
exactly.
Casino's a trap date. So, but you guys both enjoy the casino. You decide to go together, and you spend some time there. If you give her 100 and she's gets down, or he or she gets down, and you have a great night, do you split the winnings? Um, in that same situation.
Man, you know damn well, if especially if she had an off night.
Hmm.
Like if she, let's say if she lost, let's say if she lost her own 300
Right.
that she came with and she put it up on the table. You throw her 100 because you kind of see she having some tough luck.
Right.
And she comes up and she hits. I don't necessarily think I'm looking for anything.
Okay.
If I'm
Okay.
gonna judge you, like Shanae said, keep it real, half. Don't go on live and change up. If I gotta keep it real and hold true to myself, I think I'm gonna probably judge you if you don't offer me the 100 back.
Mm,
Call me an asshole. Call me whatever you want.
mm,
I'm not gonna be up here lying and shit. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm
mhm.
gonna look at you kind of sideways if you don't gesture. I'm not gonna take it. Type of person I am, I'm not gonna take it. And
Okay.
Shanae knows that. But I am gonna kind of look at you like Shawty ain't even offering me my 100. CJ, AKD, me and Shorty went out. We had a good time alive and everything. I threw Shorty some money to play the shots just because that's how I am.
Mhm.
How I am. And she hit 750 and didn't even gesture the $100 bill back to my way. I don't think I'm taking Shorty out again. That's what I said off the air.
Yeah, yeah. But like I said, what about the intern? What about the return? You give her 100, she down, and you come out. Let's say you come out with a stack. You had a good night. Do you do the same thing, or do you do the same thing? You keep your money and keep walking, or do you share some of the wins? You gonna buy her steak dinner same way she buy you steak dinner if you gave her that 100.
So
That's
let
it.
me get this right. You're going to not set an expectation that you want your money back and then go behind her back and talk about her when she don't give you your money back. We
Yeah.
do that. We do that all the time when you start dating somebody. When
We
you
eat
start
good tonight.
when you start dating somebody, you do a lot of those things just to see how they're gonna carry something.
Yeah.
And that's just one of those moments. Like when I'm down, how you gonna carry it? Like I want to keep the party going. So I
Hmm.
would feel funny if we both sit down at the table. Even like me and you, K Dizzle, we at the casino, we sit down. You win let's say you break even.
Hmm.
Or even if you do lose a couple dollars and I'm your man's and I win two bands. Like Erica said, we eating good.
Hmm.
Like I'm gonna try to pick your spirits up so you can at least felt like you won or you had a good time with me. That's how I feel as a friend because I'm an energy guy. I don't want to walk out the door counting my money and being like, oh, I wanted $1,000 and you sitting there like, nah. I'd rather be like, hey man, we should get something to eat. You want to go out, buy here, get a bottle, at least make you feel like you had a good time. But I don't think the type of person that I am, if I'm with a girl and I win like, $1,000 and she's down, I don't think I would feel good about, you know, just stunting and putting it up. I probably at least like give her something. So that's why I say and if the shoe's on the other foot and you come up, gesture my $100 back, please. It's just a gesture.
So is it a gesture or is it a requirement?
I think for me it's the thought.
I think for you it's a requirement.
Nah, man, it's the thought.
No, think about it. Think about it. For you, it's a requirement. It's a requirement because the first thing that's going to happen if it doesn't happen in that manner, even if you don't, like I said, would you break the girl off half if you wanted 1,500? That's exactly what I said. If you don't gesture, if the gesture doesn't come back, then you're upset. You're gonna move on, right? 100%. That's what we said. If they come up 1,500 and you only get 100 back, you gonna move on. Nah, we not cool. That ain't cool with me personally. We
I
should
probably
be.
I probably would though. Kate does to
Huh?
answer Erica's question, I probably would.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm sitting down, the type of person I am, if I'm sitting down in some sugar mama in some fantasy world, so here's 100, put that in the slot machine. And I put it in there and I hit three bands, I probably would give her half.
Mm,
I would. Because I wasn't even in the game.
mm-hmm.
I wasn't even in the game. So I would probably go ahead and just give half because that's just the type of person that I am. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else, but I'm just honestly answering the question. What would you do? Would you give half or would you just gesture back the 100?
Nah, I give half.
Yeah.
I give half. That's just me. That's just me.
So
100%.
you agree?
We both have fun. It's money I didn't. It's money that I didn't really have to work for. It's money that you know, that I won. So for me to give half isn't going to change my life in any way, shape, form, fashion. Anytime that I'm up some, I break it off. I move on.
So we
So
in agreement. Maybe it's a man thing. the old school traditional guy thing. But the chat's in the uproar. Shanae says, "What if she takes the $100 a few days later and buys you a gift that's worth more? Now you then are ready to talk shit about her." And then Erica says, "Oh, I like this, Shanae." So shout out to the chat, man. We love y'all for coming through. This is why we ask for you guys to come in here each and every Sunday because it's fun, right? There's some situational stuff. And I
Every,
don't know, K Dizzle.
look, here's the thing: the casino is a trap. On as far
In
as
every
in
facet.
every facet, in shape, form, or fashion, whether you go by yourself or whether you go with your significant other, whether you go on a date.
You're never alone at the
What
casino.
you're never alone. So the biggest thing you're gonna learn is one about yourself, or two about the person that you're with. If you hit big at the casino, if you hit big at the casino, don't tell Marcus. That's funny.
That's
Look,
what you took from this.
look. So look, you can learn a lot about yourself at the casino. Some good things, some bad things, your tolerance levels, and also your addiction levels. Just be mindful of all of those things, and you can learn a lot from relationships as far as give and take. And this goes on a whole different principle as far as take it out of the casino. If you won the lottery, if you play in a pool at work, right? Everybody put $100 in this pool, and everybody buy tickets at the lotto, lottery tickets, and they win the Powerball. Always is everybody splitting that money, or was that person that went the ticket got the ticket going going on their very special way? Because 9 times out of 10, when those things happen at pools at work, they don't have contracts that they sign based on the agreements that this is what we're going to do with the money if we do hit it on these numbers. No, be mindful and be careful. Be careful of the trap like that. That's the other trap. If you're going to do something, if you're going to give without the expectation of getting in return, regardless of what happens with that money. Give without the expectation of receiving in return. Okay. That way you don't get disappointed. That way you don't get upset. If whatever happens, good fortune comes to them, and you just live a happy life from there. Just forget that money, and it'll come back to you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Don't judge them by that, because like I said, most of the people said already in the chat, we're gonna eat good tonight, but I'm gonna take my $1,500. I'm gonna take my $1,500 home. Too soon.
I, I, I don't want to leave, but I gotta go right now.
So you know, we did a super early show tonight because we want to make sure that we get all eyes on the game that's going down 30, 45 minutes away from where we are right now. For you, it's probably 15 minutes for me. But look, tell them where they can find us help.
Man, we still here. And you know what I want to say first about this, K Dizzle?
Yeah.
As you put up facebook.com/ADU podcast, youtube.com/ADU podcast. We are not a pandemic podcast. You know what that means?
Go ahead.
We are not a flash in the pan podcast that just came about because of the pandemic. No
Mhm.
shots taken at anybody personally. But we're going to be here. We've always wanted to be here, and we're going to keep growing. And we are really appreciating everybody that's been sticking with us. So keep an eye out for everything we got going on. Please follow us on Instagram. Please like, share, and subscribe to the All Dressed Up podcast on YouTube. Support K Dizzle DC on all his platforms. Please check out my self have streams on all my platforms. Please put your hands around your friends and your family. Tell them you love them. Rest in peace to Twitch. If you didn't know, Twitch was very popular dancer and entertainer personality. Was featured on the Ellen Show. Unfortunately, he just was found and he lost his life. So, especially around the holidays, please check on your people. Tell them you love them. Even if they're pissing you off, just call them and tell them, because sometimes they just want to hear from you. You never know what's going on. And that's all I got, Kay.
Let me say this about that situation, right? Everybody's turning and saying check on your friends, and what that means is actually have a real conversation. Okay. Your strong friends are strong, but they're also strong willed and not searching and seeking out the help that they need sometimes. because sometimes they feel like they have to be strong for everyone else, that they don't have anybody for them. Okay. So when you talking, you check on your friends, you stress the point, you push the point, because we've all been talking about it. And I watched Ray Ali's podcast over the weekend. Shout out to Ray Ali's podcast on, they've been doing their thing on IG. Make sure that you have somebody that you can pour out into. Find that person that you feel comfortable with. It's okay to not be okay. You have to find somebody you can be 100% vulnerable with, that you're able to tell them how you're feeling and what your thoughts and emotions are at that time, so that you can help deal with them better and work through this thing called life. Because the truth of the matter is, we're all dealing with the same issues, just don't talk about it, because we're too busy trying to be strong for someone else when we know we need somebody to hold us up every now and again. So love your people, not just check on your people, but love them enough to care for them, to dig deep. um, we aren't going to be here next Sunday because it is Jesus Christ's birthday. We're going to celebrate it with our friends and our families. So make sure you do the same. Call those people who are on your minds, touch them, make sure they know that they're loved, make sure that they know that you are still in their lives and you're important and there for a reason. We thank you. We're going to celebrate for the rest of this week and rest of this year of 2022. 2023 is going to bring awesome new things for everybody. And but that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got, man.
Well
You know?
said, K Dizzle. I couldn't have said it better. And again, while we're away for the holidays and celebrating and enjoying our families, the way you stay connected to the ADU podcast is by checking us out on these platforms and following us on Instagram. But happy holidays. Merry Christmas, baby. It was a good episode. We'll see you next time.
See you, baby.
And you know, and I know, and they know, cause we know, we go all in, you know, and I know, and they know, cause we know, we go all